clown ended up in a bidding war with Squid Kid. Why? Why did he sent me a party invite? Now he's in the guild chat, pomme de terre. And I've been kicked. The people breaking into the dome have now started a potato cult. I don't know how to feel about this. It ended up taking 5 weeks of constant grinding, but on Christmas Eve, we finally had 24 flycatchers. This was largely thanks to this man who used his expert business skills to outsource the work to dozens of Skyblock tryhards, ultimately contributing 3,000 stacks of tarantula webs, for which I paid over 100 million coins. We'd finally done it. We'd created the strongest possible potato farm, producing 1,129,000 potatoes per day. Unfortunately, Squid's army wasn't slacking off either, and 2 weeks later he too had the strongest theoretical potato farm. Now the only way for him to catch up would be to farm potatoes by hand, and he had already started. I spent 10 hours constructing a gigantic potato farm covering over 21,000 blocks. For the next part of my plan, I went to Pigacle. Yeah, this is mine now.
You just rob it and sell it.
I'll just be taking this. Oh, this is good. I've been pretty broke recently. If you're wondering why I borrowed one of the strongest weapons in the game, it's because the Reaper Scythe has an ability that's crucial for farming potatoes. Now that I had it, I could finally... My farm is finally complete, and it only takes 85 minutes to replant. I made an AFK machine on my island so planted potatoes would keep growing even when I wasn't online. For a few days in January, there was a bug affecting a lot of farming minions. Potato minions were only making 33% the potatoes they were supposed to. Like any normal person, I immediately asked myself, how can I use this information to destroy my enemies? Hey Squid, notice anything about your minions lately? Yeah? I farmed potatoes for so long that I began to question my sanity. I knew it was bad when one time, after finishing planting potatoes, I took a nap, and when I woke up I had no idea how long I'd been asleep, but when I checked my farm, I instantly knew, these potatoes have been growing for 3.5 hours. Shut up, I don't have a problem. Overall, Squid ended up farming over 1 million potatoes by hand. In that same time, I farmed over 5 million. I had to replant this entire field 19 times! Every day I monitored Squid's live streams on Twitch to the point where I amassed 9,000 channel points. I made sure to farm potatoes whenever he was live to demoralize him.
Is he really planting potatoes too? We're gonna go check. This dude has a mental illness.
As time went on, you could begin to hear the hope draining from his voice.
I just can't believe how much he's farming. We need Minecraft Mondays to come back.
At this point, I was pretty confident in winning the potato war, but the problem is I had no idea how large my lead was. I can see my own potato count and what rank I am, but Squid has disabled the API setting that allows other people to see exactly how many potatoes he's at. Little does he know I have spent the last 4 months meticulously updating a spreadsheet of our potato counts, which I did by crawling through his farm and timing each of his minions with a stopwatch every day to calculate his exact potato output. Based on the math, I should be about 22 million potatoes ahead, which would take over 200 hours of farming by hand to catch up. At that point, I thought the potato war was truly over. But everything changed with the pet update. The first change is that flycatchers got buffed to plus 20%, instantly increasing my potato farm's yield to 1,231,000 potatoes per day. Of course, the main part of the pet update was the pets themselves. I immediately started looking for a pet that would help me win the war. Unfortunately, none of the pets seemed geared towards potato farming. The best option I could find was the rabbit pet, which gave a small boost to your farming experience. A higher farming level gives you a small chance to get extra potatoes when you farm them by hand, so I figured the rabbit pet would probably help me farm potatoes, maybe 1% faster.
It could be epic at worst, but we want legendary, please.
It turned out Rabbit Pets had a secret third ability that only legendary variants had, which increased the speed of farming minions by up to 30%.
And Squid had no idea it existed.
I had to level up my rabbit as fast as possible, and since pet experience is based on skill experience, I decided to grind alchemy. You see, alchemy is the rich man's skill, alright? If you have the money to burn on expensive ingredients, you can level up insanely quickly. And this was almost 2 months after I'd finished spending all my money on flycatchers. I had money to burn. I spent so many hours brewing potions that I ended up ranked 4 globally in alchemy. You want to know what level my rabbit is today? 96. It's not even max. This experience requirement is ridiculous. And in this time, Squid was fishing to level up his epic squid pet. It wasn't until 4 days after the update that he learned about the legendary rabbit and got one of his own. But it was too late, his pet sucks, it's level like 65 or something. Thanks to the rabbit pet, my minions now produce 1,586,000 potatoes per day. It's difficult to calculate exactly what my potato lead is right now because the rabbit pet only works when you're online, but the pet update has definitely pushed it to at least 25 million. Since the war began, I have farmed 158 million potatoes, which in hot potato books is over 6,000. I ain't losing this spot. One last thing I'd like to mention, while I was stalking Squid on my ult, the entire lobby was just piling on him in the chat. They were just hating on him. You see, after the first Potato War video, Squid got 40,000 subscribers in the YouTube rank, and ever since then he's been getting hate because, oh my god, he just got YouTube rank because of Technoblade, it's all luck, he sucks. I just like to take a moment to defend Squid Kid and say it's not all luck. I mean, luck was obviously a big factor, nobody's denying that, but the thing is, most opportunities are created by luck. It takes skill to grasp those opportunities and turn it into success. The original Potato War video would have been so much less funny if Squid wasn't number one and it was just some random boring guy. Now I talked to Squid afterwards, he's an adult. He doesn't care at all, but I care, alright? So if you see Squid in a lobby, say something nice to him, compliment his hair or something, because he's been dealing with cringe hate for too long, man. We gotta help him. That being said, if Squid Kid thinks he can take my potato rank, he'd better go farm for 1,000,000 years. It ain't happening, dude. You think I've been insane in this video? Wrong. There's actually so many techniques and strategies that I can't even put in this video because he hasn't discovered them yet. I'm keeping them in reserve. You have no idea. This man's been playing checkers while I've been farming potatoes. He's through. My name is Technoblade, and I am the fastest Skyblock player alive. To the outside world, I'm an ordinary Minecraft YouTuber, but secretly, I've spent the last year fighting to maintain my spot as the #1 potato farmer in Skyblock. Opposing me is Squid Kid, the former rank #1, a man whose obsession with potatoes is rivaled only by my own. In my last video, I talked about how the newly added rabbit pet could, at its highest level, increase the amount of potatoes my minions made by 30%, but I knew Squid would watch my video to find out my tactics, so I left out a few of the finer details. You see, the boost from rabbit pets isn't the same as flycatchers or catalysts. You have to be there on the island for the boost to take effect. Once you log off or go to somewhere else in Skyblock, that boost is gone until you come back. But while I was experimenting with the rabbit pet, I uncovered a few interesting facts about how the boost works. For instance, rabbit pets can boost other people's minions if you're visiting their islands as a guest. But minions can only get boosted by one rabbit at a time, so you can't just get 20 accounts with rabbit pets for infinite potatoes. But the third thing I found was the most interesting, and this is what Squid Kid didn't know. If there's multiple rabbit pets on the same island, which one boosts the minions? You'd think it'd be the strongest one, but it's not. If there's multiple rabbits, the minions will be boosted by the one belonging to whoever's been on the island the longest. So, hypothetically speaking, if someone went to their island with their level 100 rabbit when someone was already there with the level 1 one, they wouldn't get their rabbit's 30% boost, they'd get the level 1 0.3% boost. Unrelated fun fact, did you know that Squid Kid's island is still open to visitors? Yeah, that's right, we're doing this again. So I bought a new Minecraft account, slapped a level 1 legendary rabbit pet onto it, and shipped it off to Squid Kid's AFK pool. I knew I had to maintain absolute secrecy. I didn't even tell my goons about this, because I knew once Squid got wind of this, it would be trivially easy for him to prevent it. I waited until the day I released the second Potato War video to start. After that video, tourists flocked to Squid Kid's island to see it for themselves. My ult blended right in. Every day my ult would sit there in Squid Kid's AFK pool to maintain rabbit priority. In fact, it usually had the rabbit pet deactivated during the day, since you don't need to have the pet out to keep priority. And since the rabbit was deactivated, if Squid checked his minions during the day, he'd find nothing wrong with them. But every night around 2 AM, Squid would leave his account AFK and go to bed. And that's when I'd strike, overriding his rabbit pet boost for the rest of the night. And yes, I memorized Squid's sleeping schedule to pull us off. I mean, at this point, how is that even a question? Of course I did. But unfortunately, complications soon arose. Squid and I had both been rushing to get our rabbits to level 100. I had a pretty heavy lead, and I figured it'd take Squid several more weeks to get his there. But unfortunately, an unknown third party got there first and sold his level 100 legendary rabbit directly to Squid. Of course, he didn't forget to brag about this victory on stream.
Oh my, oh my. You know who doesn't have a level 100 pet? Yikes, he has a level 99 rabbit pet. He's poor. It's only level 99. I'm screaming. Ah!
Little did he know that while he was flexing on stream, my ult was right there on his island, overriding his level 100 bonus. But my problems didn't stop there. You see, Squid got an alt account to AFK with his rabbit pet on his island while he was doing other things, and since the alt account had no reason to ever leave his island, it became much harder to keep control of pet priority. And sometimes when I had priority, he'd end up kicking everyone from his island because it was too full for his alt account to join, meaning I lost priority for the rest of the day. I was going to counter this by spending $30 to buy his alt MVP++, since that rank can bypass Keston limits, but unfortunately, on March 20th, my alt was kicked and Squid's island was closed forever. The jig was up. But by that point, I'd already achieved my objective. The 2 weeks it took him to realize what was going on cost him about 2 million potatoes. Bit of a tangent, but I'm pretty sure I lost a few fans over the rabbit pet because everyone would just be hanging out. They'd just be chilling on my island with their level 30 rabbits activated. Now I'd come see that, and I don't care if it's intentional or not. They're sabotaging my potatoes, so I'd kick them out of my island to get priority back. And then they'd come back 10 seconds later like, "Why did you kick me, Technoblade? I just wanted to meet my favorite YouTuber." And I'd be like, whoa, relax, dude, relax. It's not a big deal. I have a really good reason. I can't tell you because it's a secret.
Oh my
And I'd go
god,
like,
dude, why did I do that?
I know the reason.
I'm
It's
so
because
glad
you
you didn't
hate
die, though.
me specifically. I'll just go leave forever now. And I'm like, wait, come back, no. So Squid closed his island, which meant I couldn't sabotage him anymore. But what if I told you that was also part of my master plan? You ever noticed how my island has been open to visitors during the potato war? In the last video I explained, I made an AFK machine on my island so planted potatoes would keep growing even when I wasn't online. I was actually using an advanced technique there called lying. This clip of the AFK pool is from November. I didn't even build the manual farm until January. You might recall from the first potato war video that minions behave differently depending on whether there's people on the island or not. Because if no one's on the island, Hypixel's not going to waste resources keeping that server online, so they're going to close the server. And then when you come back, they're going to go, oh, well, it's been 7 hours. It's going to run a calculation and give you 7 hours worth of stuff. But as we've seen before, that calculation isn't perfect. So I ran an experiment, and in the experiment, I found that when someone's on my island, I get 10% more potatoes. And there was only one thing boosting my minions by 10%. The farm crystal. The farm crystal is an external buff, so it's
Finally.
not
Oh
included
my
in the
God.
offline
I
calculation. So if
wanna
there's at least
touch it, but,
one
like,
person on my island and Squid's island is empty, I'd get
Jeez,
10% more
that's my heart rate
potatoes.
right
Now it was easy to get people to AFK on my island. What was difficult was getting people off
130,
of
alright.
Squid's island. You see, even months after the first potato war video came out, when
Let's
the
go.
initial hype was starting to die down a bit,